Hello everyone, I'm Michael with Mythos Foundry. We're here today to assemble the Great Cthulhu! Before assembling, what you want to do is basically a bit of cleanup. We washed it with warm soapy water using a bristle brush, just scrubbing it down, getting rid of any mold release that might be on it, take down any mold lines, fill in any air bubbles that there might be, and basically test fitting all your pieces, making sure that they fit. And once you have that done, let it dry completely. And then what we'll use an epoxy glue for it. Basically a plastic bonder, JB Weld, Gorilla Glue, any of those. We also have an epoxy putty, the Aves epoxy putty, the JB Weld again. Any of those to fill in any gaps that there might be once we assemble it. Okay, let's get started. First, we're going to start with the body. We're going to do the legs and the arms. So add some rubber bands first, just to help hold the pieces together while the epoxy is setting. It's about a 5-minute set epoxy, so we shouldn't have that long to wait on it. Generous amount here. Test your fit again before gluing. Some to the body side as well. Okay, so we just got the legs on. We didn't use the rubber bands on that. The legs are kind of very important to make sure that he's stable. So I went ahead and held that for about 5-10 minutes until they set, and then let it sit again for another 10. Now I'm going to use the epoxy putty to fill in some of these gaps on the legs. We want to make sure the base is very stable before we move on to the rest of the piece. We want to make sure just to pack this in there, make sure the gaps are filled. Another thing that you could probably use to connect the larger pieces would be like the liquid nails. It'll help fill in some of these areas. I'm not too concerned about having it completely flush with the surface. And we could go in with the other epoxy putties, Knead Tight, Procreate, and do detail work if it's needed. Water on that, smooth it out. we have a little bit of this, so what we'll do, we'll add the tendrils to the head while that's setting. Now the right side has only 2 pegs, goes right there. The left side will have 3, smaller one in the front, and that one goes like so. Add these. And I would suggest to do the tentacles, or the tendrils first before adding the tentacles. This one just wanted to pop away a little bit from the front, so I'm just going to add a rubber band to help it stay in place. For the tentacles, there are 10 tentacles that attach to the head. I laid them out before attaching them. We got 1 all the way through to 10. And we're going to start with 1 and work our way around the head. The 1 position is right here in the center. And we'll go ahead and test fit this one. Now this one is probably the trickiest one of the tentacles. It actually slips right in from the other side of that middle tentacle. And then slots in to the front. So it would look like this. And each one of the tentacles has a sculpted number in it, as well as the corresponding part on the head. And number 2 is just right next to number 1. We'll slip it just like so. These in place for a moment until they set. Number 3 is actually right here. And that one goes like this to where it's kind of going back away from the head towards the back. Get tacky for a moment. And number 4 is actually to be this form. But we need to put number 3 in there first. then number 4 goes between 2 and 3. Number 5 and 6 are also going to be on the right side. 5 goes here and then 6 on the top. Slots in right there, right between above 3 and 4. Now number 6 goes here. However, we don't need to worry too much about adding another one on top of it, because that's the last one on this side. So we could also move on to number 7 while these set, and then start on the other side and put 6 on later. And number 7 curve kind of going like that. Slide it right in next to this mandible. number 8 is going to slide right between these tentacles here in the front, go down like so. Alright, 8 is in place, and then 9 and 10 are the last ones on the left-hand side here. And number 9 is going to go like so. Flat end is going to go towards the back. Like so. And that will help keep 9 in place. We'll just let that set. So some of these tentacles are still setting. We'll end up filling up the gaps, same as we did with the sides here. Just test fit the head. Get some of these rubber bands around to help hold it in place for the moment. I'm not going to attach the head or the wings just yet because this is actually a model that's being shipped off to a backer, and let them do final assembly on that. It'll just be easier to paint. But there's our great Cthulhu.